Well, hello, folks. Happy New Year. Goodbye to 2022. Hello, 2023. And most importantly, hello, Mr. Farrara. How are you, Justin?
Hello, Mr. Feldman. How are you, Ike?
We have background noise. I won't slap him like some executives in the combat sports world, even though he deserves it. Um,
Starting hot.
Man, what a what a start! I'm thinking like Happy New Year. How's everything?
I've been working a whole bunch.
As
Basically,
always.
what I told you, I'm doing essentially 6 12-hour shifts a week. Uh, got engaged. Um, trying to join the club, and then what else did I do that's significant? Oh, looking to buy a home. So, and then I have a few other ventures that I'm trying to dabble into. So, been busy. Try to get as much home time, family time as much as possible, but gotta pay those bills. It's expensive. It's expensive. How about you? How's 2023 treating you?
Not as busy as you, but busy. And I will always say this: busy is better than bored. And I've been busy, working, training, being a dad. But it's good, man. Life is good. And I think life will be good for our boy Pat Downey. I think it was December 3rd.
You got some background noise?
I think it was December 3rd when he fought and lost. But if you've been paying attention to his social media at P something 3D
PD3.
PD3, he he seems comfortable with it
Let
and
me,
that
let me
he's
look.
gonna bounce back and be better than before. And I have no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. Um, I know it blew for Twitter. Um, Wrestling world blew up for a little bit. I mean, sorry, I got these bugs flying on my face. Switched up my lair, my den, so got bugs following me everywhere. But yeah, the wrestling world blew up for a little bit, saying Pat Downey gets knocked out. Um, I mean, like I said, anybody can get knocked out. You'll be lucky if you don't catch a left hook from little man eating his dinner. You don't give him more chicken nuggets. But I think it'll bounce back. It's all how you respond to it. I mean, again, it could happen to anybody. So, and I give anybody credit for stepping in, competing at a high level like that. I know you were trying to push me to do that North American grappling thing, which is in 2 days. It was actually on my mind a few days ago, but I was like, oh, I'm so like out of shape, and I bought an exercise bike. It's like my knees, my hips, my back, my neck, everything's going. So I was like, I think I'll save hospital bills for another event. I don't want to get mangled, but those guys train, those guys compete, and I don't want to step in underprepared. I talked about it with my brothers; they were all for it, and then I told my brother, I was like, I told Brandon, I was like, hey, would you come down and coach me? He's like, the only thing I'll say is grab his nuts. So he's like, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, he's like, what the? But yeah, Pat, I think he'll bounce back. I mean, it's the nature of the beast. It's a violent sport, as you say. So, um, I think he'll be all right. I think you just gotta get him on a football challenge again. Try to remotivate him.
um uh concerning your competitive days, if I remember, I think it's September or October in Tampa. There's some like Spartan on the beach or like something that I didn't forget
Yeah, I think
about.
that's I think that's May. I think it's May. It's like Spartan Nationals.
Oh,
So I would be like in a veteran group because I'm over the hill. I'm
well, that's not too
middleweight.
bad, right? 4 months. Was that like, yeah.
Yeah,
February.
but what would you have time when you're working 612s? No.
No, no.
What I may have time to go down to Long Island soon. This new venture that I was talking about was well, one with my buddy Sean, his supplement company. We'll talk about that later. And another venture, his friend, with cash advances. So I may be making a trip down to Long Island. Maybe we could do a Feldman in studio recording. That would be pretty cool because I got the fiance going down to Florida with her mother, so I'll have like a week off to myself, being pretty bored.
I would freaking love that. Obviously, would you be down to get in some like light rolling?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I outweigh you by 100 pounds, so
Not with me, with the other killers.
who the Avengers? No, that guy he trains hardcore. I'm not trying to no, I would I would definitely roll around. I would have
Would
to
you crash the night? Can you stay over?
hell yeah, probably
Okay,
2, 3 nights.
cool.
But hey, I'm taking vacation and I'm gone.
I'm trying to fix the heat downstairs, so you might be keep
That's
that
okay, man.
sweatshirt and beard.
We're from New York, so we're okay. We'll be all right.
I've realized that with your brother. When I slept over many, many moons ago, I was like, this is freezing. I go, same thing, my wife's house in Europe, very, very cold, and you get used to it, like sleep with the hat. Man, we're spoiled over here, little dandelions, so I definitely
Yeah,
respect it.
Emily did get me a heated blanket for Christmas. I mean, I
Bring it
use it
down.
here and there. But she's like, "Oh, I got you the wrong size again." She got me another toddler blanket. I was like, "What am
No way.
I-" It goes from my chin to my thighs. It was like, "Oh man!" So I just wrap it around my feet for the night.
You
So,
probably made the
but
same
yeah,
mistake that I did. I see like an excellent price. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna get this nice jumpsuit, and then it's like
yeah.
4T. What?
So I think we'll roll right into the left hooks, the slap fights, the celebrities slapping. Dana White was caught on New Year's Eve, um, striking his wife. Um, public figure, a lot of backlash about that, and I guess there's more backlash of how he's taking the criticism. So sorry about that. What's well first I see you're tweeting a bunch about your thoughts on it. So you want to elaborate about that a little bit?
First of all, that was like the most um I don't know, like that took a lot of brain power to put those tweets together. Like I was fried after that, but yeah, my Twitter, I tried to be as diplomatic, not as emotional or like vendetta like some other guys, just trying to like look at it like if Roger Goodell slapped his wife on camera in like a suite or at a restaurant or a nightclub, that dude would be at minimum suspended, at minimum. Dana
Yeah.
White saying that the punishment of that he has to look in his kids in the eyes, sees his wife, that he has to live with that mark on his forehead for the rest of, yeah, sure, but he also
Yeah.
has that outlet of going to work.
So that's what he says. From MMA Junkie on Twitter on January 11th. The only punishment that will come from him slapping his wife will be in the public eye. This is how he's labeled now. So that's how he's labeled. We actually have that sound clip. I hope my internet doesn't. It's snowing up here in upstate New York, so hopefully this loads. But yeah, it's on MMA Junkie. Just him at a press conference. I mean, it's already got two and oh, there it is. 2.1 million views.
Public figure, he's big, charged this big company. Nobody's really talking about it. Are there any repercussions planned from the company or self-imposed repercussions?
Yeah, well, I mean, what should the repercussions be? You tell me.
suspension?
I take 30 days off. How does that hurt me?
Because
I mean,
then you
told
have to sit with your thoughts.
COVID could last 10 years. I could set it out and
He's
You know what I mean?
flying out to
what
Brazil.
would be
He's doing what?
He's flying out to Brazil. How does it affect him? You got to stay at home and look your kids and wife in the eye and talk to them. And maybe you're disgruntled and uncomfortable at home, but that's where the issue is.
Well, this I think it gets interesting coming up.
the only it's much like COVID actually. Me leaving hurts the company, hurts my employees, hurts the fighters. Doesn't hurt me. I could have left in 2016. You know what I mean? I don't know. What's the do I need to reflect? No, I don't need to reflect. The next morning when I woke up, you know what I mean? I've been against this. I've owned this. I'm telling you that I'm wrong. And but listen, I mean, we've had plenty of discussions internally with Ari, ESPN. Nobody's happy. Nobody's happy about this, neither am I.
So right there, I kind of jump over to Francis Ngannou. He said, "Who's it hurt? Hurts the company, hurts him, or hurts his fight or his employees." I actually read something a few days ago. A lot of the fighters are, opting out. There's, the PFL, Bellator, One, multiple outlets for fighters to go. So, Francis is now a free agent. He's not making the money under the UFC. He's not getting paid there. I know boxing has crazy numbers. You see Floyd Mayweather, Jake Paul, again, making these ridiculous amounts. But something was saying like the highest paid athletes, AKA the best paid athlete or the best athletes, are under one, 3-letter, abbreviation: NHL, NBA, NFL, MLS, NLL, whatever, professional, the highest of the highest. And you see fighters jumping away from the UFC, going into Bellator, the PFL. You just said Jake Logan is now PFL. Does that play into it a little bit? Like, because the NFL, we'll say the NFL and we'll say the CFL. The NFL, you're getting paid the most. You get the most exposure. But now I'm seeing Bellator on everything. I'm seeing PFL on everything. You just see it everywhere now. And then I think it's a little bit different with boxing. I'm not too familiar with boxing, but Canelo is just getting these absurd amounts. And then again, there's 10 different belts per weight class, all these different championships. You have a fighter with 7 belts. It's like, how is this? And when you think about MLB, there's only one champ, the World Series champ. So I think it's interesting that it says it hurts his employees, but his employees could literally go somewhere else where they could make more money. Paige Van Zant, she left and went to bare knuckle boxing or whatever. A lot of people have other outlets, but people at the top, if you don't make it in the NBA, you're going to China or Russia or overseas or something, Spain. So I know UFC used to be the cream of the crop. I think a lot of high level athletes are in the UFC, but you just see them everywhere else. You see them everywhere else. And, with Francis leaving, does that hurt the UFC? With Dana striking his wife in public, does that hurt the UFC? And then you see now he has slap fight, and I see a lot of terrible post about slap fight. I think it's one, is it just like, is it realistic? I don't know. Is it a sport? Like, I can't condition myself getting smacked in the head that many times. Obviously I was too many concussions, but or is it just the criticism of Dana White? They're not trying to have anything. I know TBS, I think, like shut them down for a little bit. I'm not sure if they're back on, but what are your thoughts on that sound clip? I think well, me personally, um like you said, we'll give it like we'll compare it to Roger Goodell. At least an suspension, at least. You see with professional athletes with striking their wives or any kind of legal thing, they're out games. They have a like the NFL or the NBA have players unions. So what do you think on his comments for how he's handling and how he's going forward?
First of all, completely well said. Completely agree on everything. Does that all hurt the UFC, as you said? Yes, 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 and yes. And I think if you just look at exactly what he said, does he need to reflect? No, it's like, damn, your ego is insane.
And especially with today's world. I mean, you see it, I see it. Today's world, how hasn't he been canceled? And it's sad, like one, it's sad that he did it. I mean, obviously I don't know him personally, but that could have potentially ruined his career. You see people make a mistake in the public eye and it ruins their career. They're totally done for. But
You made a great point with the Nets basketball player. If you want to bring that up, like
let me
that is in like so
kind of
telling of the times.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. No, yeah, here it is. So Bishop Talbot Swan tweeted a tale of three athletes. It's a shame Kyrie Irving, a black man who shared a link of a video, has received more consequences. He's being condemned more and more news coverage than two white men combined. It says Brett Favre stole $5 million from poor black children in the state of Mississippi. And then Dana White pimp slapped his wife in public. Yeah, we talked about it pre-episode, but what was you want to elaborate on those thoughts?
Spot on. It's crazy. I can only imagine what happened if Kyrie slapped his girlfriend. Like he would probably get suspended longer if he slapped a teammate, another man who could physically defend himself, like on a practice squad. If it was like some grainy practice video and he smacked like Kevin Durant, he would get suspended probably 10 games. Like that would get more suspension than what Dana White did. And for those that don't know, Dana White is trained boxing. He's coached boxing. He was supposed to fight Tito Ortiz about 15 years ago in a boxing match. He was going to fight Oscar De La Hoya in a boxing match. I would put money on that he's had private one-on-one lessons with like champion fighters. He knows how to throw a punch. He knows how to throw a slap. And it's just the people that are saying she slapped him first. Like, where are you from? What gutter did you crawl out from? Go back there because that's not how I was raised.
Yeah, and then I mean, obviously, I don't know too much. I mean, I don't follow basketball. I really don't care about basketball. Obviously, I'm a wrestler. I mean,
I tuned into the finals maybe for a game, but I couldn't tell you who.
I mean, everybody was a Chicago Bulls fan growing up. I mean, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, my boy Dennis Rodman. But with Kyrie, they talk about the negative, and just looking at some of I can't find exactly what it was, but I've heard it. Like he donates a lot. He has a lot of charities. Nobody talks about that. They find the negative and they run with it. Like that Buffalo Bills football player that got hurt went into a cardiac arrest. Nobody. He had a foundation for I think his mother's daycare for children's toys. A goal was $2,500, and then after this terrible thing happened to him, something negative happened to somebody, the world reacts. Why weren't they reacting to him having this, GoFundMe for his mother's daycare or for, less fortunate children? And he raises what, $8 million?
People love car crashes.
Yeah, I mean, it shows you that, you have to, it really went unnoticed until something like tragic happened. And a lot of things like with Kyrie, for example, I know a lot of his supporters will say, hey, he does this foundation, he does this charity, he donates houses to people that are in need, but no one talks about that. They just focus on the negative. And I know it was a negative thing that happened to that Bills player, but I mean, sad, very sad, and I'm glad that he's out of the hospital, recovering. But it takes like something tragic for somebody to do something, to notice something.
I'm glad you brought up people's focus. I think on the reverse side of it, people focus on the positive Dana White. There is no doubt he's the best in his business: boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, mixed martial arts. He's the best promoter. Like, he's amazing at his job. As soon as this happened, it's like he kicked it into high gear. The amazing fights were booked over the next 3 months for the UFC. Yeah, he's amazing at his job, and I think some people are distracted by that. But it's the sport will live on without him. Suspend him for 6 months. Suspend him for a year. Let him even work no more in the public light. Let him just be behind the scenes. Sure, he could drive to the office, go to do his job, but it's not good to have that man as the face of the company.
So here's what Will Harris says of the anatomy of a fighter. He says he was confused by a lot of people. Dana White admitted he was wrong. That's the first step, admitting you were wrong. Like, he owned it. He has to, like you said, wake up and face his wife. I'm sure it's not an excuse. I'm sure, alcohol was probably involved. He owned it repeatedly. And now he's very wrong. He's made no excuses, which he hasn't. What do you want him to do? Do you want him to leave? So many are talking, get scared to tag him. No one's tagging him, but those keyboard warriors.
Yes, I saw that post. Yeah, he's technically, I try to look at things as like, he's technically correct. It's not that Dana White should do anything. It's that Disney, UFC, Endeavor, his bosses should do something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a touchy subject.
If you drive through your office window, you get out of the car, you walk to your desk, and nobody does anything, then after your shift, you get back in your car and you drive back, and there's a huge hole in the side of the building, nobody does anything, and then you just drive to that parking spot every day. I don't know.
No change.
No change.
So then we were talking about well, enough with Dana for now. Just a touchy subject. Some people's eyes controversial, whatnot, but he owned it, and what are his bosses doing? Obviously that's over our pay scale. It's just two American dads talking, shooting the shit. But
I tagged his boss. Maybe he sees it, maybe he doesn't.
So he also talks about Francis Ngannou's UFC exit is motivated by the desire to fight lesser competition for more money. So as as everybody listening knows, or everybody downloading, how many downloads do we have?
Thank you guys. We've crossed we're approaching like 2,500 clicks, views, downloads. Well, across everything. I think we got to be north of 10,000 with your TikTok and social media work. You've been killing it, my friend. Thank you. And thank you for the effort. Thank you guys for unless it's just a whole bunch of Chinese bots on TikTok, thank you guys for everything.
Appreciate it. No, but I mean, with this such a high impact, dangerous sport, wouldn't you think, again, we'll go back to Paige Van Zandt. She left for more money. She's literally taking, making more of a risk with hands going to your face, could do serious damage. Not saying like UFC gloves or boxing gloves can't do damage, but how long can you sustain that damage? How long? Like they're trying to cash out. I mean, dangerous trying to cash out. Again, if I could do that and not work 12-hour job or 12-hour days, I mean, but I mean, training with that, watching your weight, being mentally focused, being prepared. Those guys get into grooves, they get into, their little routines, and they got everything's set. So, obviously it's kind of like a 24-hour job. I mean, not kind of, it is a 24-hour job. That's your job, preparing your body, preparing your mind, surrounding yourself with winners, people giving you different advice, a lot of it's like family members too, just that support. So, I mean, you're working 24/7, but why not cash out? And this black eye, will say, with the UFC right now, they almost lost a slap fight on TBS, but like I said, I think it's back on. I don't know. I just saw some videos. Some girl got slapped, fell to her butt, and then did a barrel roll, a front roll, trying to get up. It's like,
She
oh
had
my
like a
god.
little ponytail,
No,
like a blonde dyed hair.
the blonde mohawk, spiked mohawk.
Well, maybe it was a mohawk. I think I saw that. She was like planked out, like arms to the side, right? Was not moving. Oh. Yeah, I can't blame
But
Paige, and Francis Ngannou is not afraid to get hit. I mean, he wants to fight Tyson Fury, the heavyweight boxing champion in boxing.
so what do you know about boxing? We can everything can just roll together. So we got Tyson Fury's, was it his son, Tommy? Is that his
Um,
son? We don't have
brother
what's
Tommy.
what's your son doing? Is your son fact checking right now or what? Where's Frank?
Fact check it. He's still on a union break.
But what do you call it? Fighting Jake Paul. Um, and then there was a Joe Rogan podcast. Who the heck was saying that he wasn't a fighter? I forgot what Tyson Fury is not like a boxer.
Dave Portnoy.
Yeah, it was, yeah, Barstool President El Presidente saying he wasn't a boxer, and Joe
That was
just kept
great.
telling him.
Did Rogan cross the line by saying "shut the f up"? Shut the
No,
F.
I
Or
don't think so.
was
I
it
think
part
there's
of the?
I think they're sitting there and they're going back and forth like guys bullshitting. It's like, yo, dude, just watch this. You're like, shut up, watch this. What are you watching? But I don't think he crossed the line. And you'd have to call me soft if
I was only listening. He could have been like, maybe his eyes were like telling a different story than his words. But it's like, okay, okay.
so he's boxing him, and Jake Paul is now in the PFL. So that brings more eyes because he's a promoter. He's a promoter. A lot of people are saying, well, his fights are rigged or whatever. I
I
don't
feel like they're
know.
teenagers.
I
I feel
don't.
like you get it, I get it. Like we understand the man's game.
Yeah, I get it. So it might be those bots or just those, like you said, keyboard warriors.
Like good for him. I think he's 25, 26. His skill looks great. And I never watched Tommy Fury throw a punch until after Dave was going after Joe or at Joe.
Yeah.
And then I Googled the highlight. Yeah, he was pretty right. Jake Paul is more skilled. Tommy is stiff. Like he looks like a very, very good, solid amateur. Good techniques, but very, very basic stuff. Joe was complimenting like that's a legit boxer, and it's like there's 3-9 record professionals. There's guys who are 5-20 who are professionals. So like Joe, what if you make $300 from a fight? You're a professional. Yeah, I guess you got paid, so it's a pro fight. But I was sided with Portnoy on that.
Yeah, I can't.
But,
I can't.
but
I
oh yeah,
can't wait
with
to hear.
Jake Paul with the PFL, I like what he's saying. That'd be great. That'd be payday for Jake. That'd be payday for Nate Diaz. That'd be payday for PFL if they can make that fight happen. You do a boxing match 6 months later, you do an MMA fight, and Nate Diaz is not a wrestler. he's not a guy who's gonna take Jake down. So it's basically gonna be 2 boxing fights.
Yeah, that
Smart.
would be.
He's a smart dude.
And then
He reminds me of somebody we would hang out.
for sure.
Like we'd
For
be like,
sure.
dude, you think Jake's
And then
gonna-"
the sorry, my phone keeps blowing up.
I
Sorry.
can't say anything. I got a 2-year-old who's throwing chicken fingers at me.
Chicken fingers, I love them. John Jones, ooh, getting back into the fight scene.
Let me have it, man. That's a fellow New
Fellow
York
New
country boy
Yorker.
like you.
So John Jones, like his brother Arthur and Chandler from Section 4, New York, Binghamton area. I believe they're all state champs in wrestling. I think they won state championships in
Oh.
football. Brothers played in the NFL. John Jones went to Upper Iowa, I believe. Obviously, Iowa, Division II. I think he was a national champion there as well. But says right now he was his tweet 6 hours ago. Right now I'm on the hunt for southpaw heavyweights and light heavyweights that are interested in training here in Albuquerque for the month of February. More than willing to compensate you for your time. Email me if you're interested. So he's back in it. Excited to see him go. Some say he's the greatest of all time. You know, his one loss is kind of an asterisk. So happy to see him get back in, but still with the whole situation that we talked about previously, does it generate revenue? And then, you know, the whole thing with Conor McGregor, and then with, I say Conor McGregor because they're saying USADA is trying to, you know, piss test him, piss test Johnny Jones, like the guys that are, you know, notorious for cheating. But exciting to see him back in. We'll see what, I wonder what kind of supplements he's taking.
They
So,
should
but anyways,
be
let me do
Simply
the
supplements.
let me yeah, hopefully it's the Simply supplements. Let me throw this promo out real quick. My friend down in Long Island, Sean, started a company called Simply. So it says their mission statement is why procrastinate when you can start now. Empowering you to feel pride in attaining your goals. We strive to help you discover your best life by optimizing your performance, whether in the gym, office, or your day-to-day life. So they got a list of things. You know, he was talking to me the other day. You know, their testosterone boosters, the number one seller right now. They got bone and heart support, sleep gummies, creatine, you know, collagen gummies. They got the, you know, the test booster, or I just said that, the fat burner. They got whey protein, up and coming. Look for him to do good things. I've known Sean for a while. He is one of those guys that dissects everything. And you guys see it a lot now. There's a lot of different protein powders, different supplements out there, but you know, one could be better. You could have you know, a hankering for a different flavor. I know Man Ramp takes Jocko Mulk. He's into Jocko. So yeah, if you go to takesimply.com, you know, look at their products, see if anything interests you. If not, you know, try something. If you don't like it, you know, send them some feedback. How can he improve? You know, what do you like? That's the big thing he's looking for. So yeah, again, takesimply.com. Think you can find him on Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, he's doing big things. Really excited for him. I know he's a hard worker, and to see this happen for him, pretty excited for that. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I haven't tried it yet, but he's got a little good operation going on right now.
sweet looking sight. I can't wait to get my
And
little paws on some subs.
yeah, get your paws on it. Get your paws on it. Big thing. I mean, I know a few people in the industry, so you got to work hard. You got to put your nose down. That's what these guys do. They don't take no for an answer, and they just go after it. So, hopefully, my friend Sean, down in Bethpage, does sticks it out and sees success that my other friends have. My other friends have risen to the top real quick. So good luck to you on that, and hopefully you see a lot of success.
Hopefully you are part of that success. You're a hell of a salesperson, man. And I kind of like this. You're reading headlines or presenting stories or topics. I really enjoy your this dynamic. I don't know. New year, new you, man.
I was gonna trim the beard today, and
No,
can't
that's
say
the same. That definitely hasn't changed at all.
I can't say my girlfriend anymore. I gotta say my fiance. She gets mad. But no, she likes this length. I was like, oh man, I kind of look like a lumberjack, but got this gray streak right here. It was filled with almost blood this morning. I went to the dentist, and the dentist was kind of rude to me. She's like, "You need to floss better." And I was like, "Oh, geez, I know. Like, stop." And then
In a raw steak.
I was as I was walking in, but she dropped one of her tools on me and went to catch it, and it like crushed my lip, and I started bleeding. I was like, "Oh man!" But I was
Look
gonna
at
seep
you
down.
doing her job better than her.
Oh, but yeah. Sorry it took a little bit to get on, but I know you're busy training, working, and I just been busy working and working. So no, I know we sent the link out to Pat. Was hoping he'd jump on, but maybe next time, Pat.
We love you, Pat. We love you, Mitch.
Oh,
All
and our other guy,
podcasts.
Mitch McKee, he won again,
LFA
and
150. It was in his hometown, Minnesota. I think he got a
yeah,
first or second round knockout. So shout out to him.
and him and the newly Mrs. McKee are pregnant.